Good Thursday evening, everyone. You're listening to KJHK 90.7 FM, the sound alternative. Welcome into this week's Alternative Flashback. I'm your host, DJ Vintage, and I'm honored to be spinning some great throwback college rock for you guys tonight. Kicking off the 10 o'clock hour, that was The Outdoor Type by the Lemonheads. The Heads are our featured artists this week, as Alternative Flashback honors the release of their 7th studio album, Car Button Cloth, during this week in 1996. So we'll be playing a different song from the album to kick off each stop set. For the record, see what I did there? Record? Anyway, fans wouldn't get another Lemonheads album until their self-titled release over a decade later. So I hope you enjoy the tunes. Coming up next in this stop set, you'll hear songs from Black Flag, The Ramones, Supergrass, The Apples in Stereo, KMFDM, and Aphex Twin. But this next song was the title track to the final album by the Boo Radleys, released in 1998. And the band unfortunately broke up a short time thereafter. Here's King Size, and thank you for listening to Alternative Flashback on KJHK.
Speak so softly.
Alternative Flashback keeps rolling on this Thursday evening. DJ Vintage still sitting in the captain's chair with you from the state of North Carolina as we continue our focus on the Lemonheads release Car Button Cloth that came out this week in 1996. That was the song Break Me. Now, the cool thing about the Lemonheads, though, over the course of their entire career, their canon, the majority of all the songs were written by frontman and founding member Evan Dando, and he also plays like a bajillion other instruments on the album. So if you like his work, maybe check out his solo album that he released in February of 2003 entitled Baby I'm Bored. So go check them out. Coming up next here in this stop set, you'll hear songs from Husker Du, The Ministry, 16 Horsepower, U2, and Black Grape. But first, here is the unplugged version of Santa Monica by the band Everclear. Thanks for listening to Alternative Flashback on KJHK.
Living with your ghost.
You are falling away.
Welcome into the 11 o'clock hour of Alternative Flashback on KJHK 90.7 FM, Lawrence. DJ Vintage still sitting in the captain's chair with you, continuing on our focus this week on the 1996 album release Car Button Cloth by the band The Lemonheads. That was their song, If I Could Talk, I'd Tell You. It was co-written by frontman Dando, along with Scottish musician Eugene Kelly, who was also a member of the band The Vaselines. Coming up next in this stop set, you'll hear songs from Elastica, Mad Season, Tricky, The Human League, Belly, and Swans. But this next song is a band I introduced you to last week. Here's the Tragically Hip with their song All Canadian Surf Club. You're listening to Alternative Flashback on KJHK. And that was the final song you'll hear tonight from our featured artist, the Lemonheads, off their album Car Button Cloth, released this week in 1996. DJ Vintage getting ready to wrap up Alternative Flashback and Thursday for this week. But before I get out of here, if you have a request or a dedication or maybe an artist or album you'd like for me to consider being the Alternative Flashback themed artist of the week, find me on Instagram. You can find me at KJHK_DJ Vintage and let me hear from you. You can also give me requests for my Friday 12 to 3 new music rotation lunch hour shift. There's a lot of good music out there, so let me hear your thoughts. Coming up next in this stop set to end Alternative Flashback, you'll hear songs from Wilco, the Red House Painters, Sleeper, PJ Harvey, Slow Dive, and the Throwing Muses. But this next song is by the band Veruca Salt. Here's Forsythia. To end Thursday, to end Alternative Flashback, and to end my radio shift. Lawrence, DJ Vintage is out.